If you're about to inherit money, what should you actually do first? Inheriting money can feel overwhelming, both emotionally and financially, and the decisions you make early on can have long-term consequences. Many of us dream of hitting the lottery, and for some, receiving inheritance can feel a bit similar. But like any kind of windfall, it's important to slow down and walk through what steps you might want to take so you're actually setting yourself up for success. This video is a detailed guide on what to do after inheriting money, including the psychological impact, taxes, retirement accounts, and how to avoid costly mistakes. Let's start with the obvious. Inheriting money is both a financial and psychological process that is incredibly nuanced and case-specific. Everyone's situation is different, but there are some key principles that tend to show up over and over again. Those are worth thinking about before or at the time you receive your inheritance. To make this easier, we'll group those principles into 3 buckets: psychological impact, tax and legal implications, and financial strategy. Let's look at psychological impact first. Inheriting money is often laced with complex emotions. We know from the field of behavioral finance that we can be irrational with money even at the best of times. Add in emotional layers of grief and stress on top of that, and it may become very easy to make bad financial decisions. One important principle you can lean into is avoiding making significant financial decisions in times of emotional stress. Giving yourself time to think and process can help reduce the odds of making irreversible and potentially harmful decisions. Practically, this might require a kind of cooling off period. Consider parking the cash or investments in a low-risk account that earns interest and slow down your decision-making to allow the emotions to subside. The goal is simple. We want to avoid impulsive decisions. For some people, hearing they're inheriting money feels life-changing, and they start making big, impulsive decisions like quitting their job before they've actually run the numbers. In reality, according to recent Federal Reserve data, the average American household inherits about $46,200, a meaningful amount, but not necessarily never work again money. So if you're inheriting any money, step 1 is to pause. Process your feelings, speak to someone you trust if you need to, and give yourself time to understand what you're inheriting and formulate a sound financial plan. Now, onto the second bucket, legal and tax implications. There's no federal inheritance tax, which means you don't owe federal tax just for receiving an inheritance. However, some states do have inheritance taxes. Then there are federal estate taxes. An estate tax is paid by the estate itself before the money ever reaches you, and it typically only applies to very large estates, generally those worth over $15 million, according to the IRS. What's interesting is that inheriting money can actually be beneficial to the recipient from a tax perspective. In many cases, inherited assets receive what's called a step-up in basis. That means the tax cost basis is reset to the asset's fair market value at the date of death, not what the original owner paid. So, for example, if your parent bought a stock or house years ago for cheap and it grew a lot, you generally don't owe capital gains tax and all that past growth. If you sell soon after inheriting at roughly the same value as the date of death value, your capital gain will be relatively small or even zero. That usually gives you the option to cash out or diversify without triggering a massive tax bill. But there can also be some hidden tax traps with an inheritance. One example is with an inherited 401k. When you inherit a traditional 401k, the money hasn't been taxed yet, so the IRS will eventually want its cut. That means every dollar you withdraw counts as ordinary income for you and might increase your tax bill. On top of that, most heirs who aren't a spouse are required to withdraw the money within a set time frame, usually within 10 years, and sometimes withdrawals are required along the way. If you don't plan those withdrawals carefully, you could accidentally push yourself into a higher tax bracket or even face penalties. That's why timing and strategy really matter. Because of this complexity, it's typically a good idea to contact a professional to help you with any inheritance tax questions. A well-versed CPA and estate attorney might make a big difference. How you will use an inheritance depends entirely on your overall financial picture, which leads us to our third bucket, financial strategy. You'll probably want to contextualize the funds you receive within your greater financial plan. Based on where you sit financially, you might use an inheritance to pay off high-interest debt, build up your emergency fund, invest for your future, or invest in your present. There's no one right financial move here, just different trade-offs. Working with a financial advisor can help you separate emotion from strategy and bring some data-driven thinking to the decision-making process. Hopefully you're now feeling a little bit more prepared if you're anticipating an inheritance. If you're interested in working with a financial advisor, click the link below to set up a call with NerdWallet Wealth Partners.